Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to our next episode of Winners Wednesday. I am super excited to have my good friend, Miss Abby Smith, all the way from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Good morning.
Good morning.
I say good morning for you because it's afternoon here, but it's still morning time for you.
Okay, yes. It's early and windy.
Early and windy. Oh, yikes. Is it still cold?
Yes.
Oh, no. My goodness. Well,
Last week
first off,
it's
it
getting
was
better.
cold. Oh, good. That's good to hear. So, do you have a good Christmas?
I did. It was great. How about you?
Doing good. Yeah, we just hung out here. Actually, went to Gene and Susan Fredericks, who's with EXP. So, hung out with a bunch of EXP people, our EXP family.
Love it.
um,
That's awesome.
Speaking of EXP, I wanted to congratulate you. I heard that you just reached the Icon Award.
I did. Thank you. That was a big goal.
That's awesome. So, for anyone that's watching, EXP is a very high level of production that agents can achieve and actually earn their cap back of $16,000. This is really like the top 1% of producers. So, that's an incredible thing to achieve, Abby. So, for those watching, let's kind of take it a step back. How long have you been in the real estate industry and what initially led you to get into real estate?
Yeah, I moved to Oklahoma about 10 years ago and I had a son um in 2013. So really the mom and me wanted to find a career where I could be present for my kids as well as make a living. And so that's how it all started. I bought my first house, and that's really what opened the door to, okay, this is it. I think this is what I want to do.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So, you got licensed in 2013?
I did, yeah.
So give or take about 10 years. That's amazing. So you got in for really the flexibility, which is very similar to my story, actually. I think I got in 2 weeks before I had my oldest son, who's now 13. But so has real estate really, maybe from people that are, starting a family or currently have a family, has that been able to allow you the flexibility that you originally got into real estate for?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been more than I expected. I love it. I found my thing for sure.
That's great. And so what you mentioned moving to Oklahoma. So what's your story? What led you to Oklahoma and were you in a different career path before?
Yeah, so I was 20 years old when I moved to Oklahoma. I got married when I was 19. I lived in Las Vegas, and my husband got a job in the oil field, so that's how we ended up here. And
Makes sense.
yeah, came here not knowing anyone. So every relationship that I made, everyone that I met through him, his coworkers, I really valued, and that's how I got started. In the oil field, there's a lot of people who also come not knowing anyone.
Right.
So I really, I feel like I was very welcomed. Most of my business came from, I guess, the oil field coworkers, and so I made a lot of friends there. And it really, for me, has been in relationships. That's how I've built my business.
That's awesome. And I think that, that really kind of goes back to the basics, right? Of really incorporating your personal and your professional life and your sphere. So it's amazing, in 9 years now you hit Icon, moved here, back in 2013, didn't know anyone. And
Right.
so how did you track some of those relationships? I mean, did you kind of have any method to really building that trust and becoming that local real estate expert?
I think it comes down to communication, just really and being a good listener when someone reached out to me. If I couldn't respond to them right away, at least sending a message, hey, I'm going to get back to you in 2 hours. Um, it's all in the follow up. They say fortune is in the follow up, and I am 100% believer that that is the case. So just being a good listener is what I feel like has helped me to get to where I am today, and just communicating with everybody.
I love that. I love that. So you talked about relationships and then being a good listener and communication. Is there anything else that you would say that really has pinpointed and been the key to your success?
Um, Honestly, it comes down to that, the relationships.
That's awesome. So relationships and communication, two things, right?
Yes.
That's great. So what advice would you have? I mean, somebody that, may not know how to build those relationships and maybe struggle with some of that communication. I mean, do you have any advice for somebody that may be watching?
When I moved to Oklahoma, I thought I didn't have a circle, and I think it's possible for anyone. I consider myself to be an outgoing introvert. So if I can do it, I feel like anyone can do it. You just have to believe in yourself and really be yourself. You can't be anybody else. So
So be
there's
authentic.
you always have a yes. You will. Everyone has a circle. Whether it's if you're a mom, you're gonna have other moms. You can have play dates, or um, if you're involved in some kind in the gym or any community event, there's the possibilities are endless, and it and your group changes as you grow as a person. It doesn't always have to be those same people, and I think
Right.
that that's what keeps the ball rolling, but also um, keeping the relationships, nurturing them. Actually, my business doubled and now tripled with EXP because before EXP, I never even had a website. So to me, like KB Core has been life changing because now I have a CRM, and the CRM will text my clients like, "Happy birthday! What are you up to today?" And I, as a person, do get to follow up with those relationships, but the KB Core starts it for me. So it's
Yeah.
been
Absolutely. So you're talking about, really building the foundational, right, relationships, communications, and then in order to scale, that's when you've got to start bringing in those systems, which it sounds like what you've
technology.
done with KV Core, which is our lead generation platform. So, and then I noticed that you're doing a lot on, TikTok and Instagram. Has social media played a role in your success?
Absolutely. That's how I stay top of mind, nurture the relationships with the people in my sphere. Um, I love TikTok. And
That's awesome. And I like to see that, you show that different side of you. So,
it's not all about business. It can just be personal as you want it to be.
that's great. And that goes back to what you mentioned of being authentic, right? People work with people that they like, know, and trust. And so they're able to see you through those social media platforms. So I think that's amazing. So now you've started adding, to your team, your organization with EXP. So what really led you to want to start building out and helping other real estate agents and ultimately join EXP?
Um, I am a big believer on I love helping people. That's why I sell real estate. But if I can help other people help even more people, um, then I'm there for it. But really, I'm a big believer of building yourself. So I don't have a team, but I help other people build their own brand and to
Right.
really bring out their who they are as a person and to build them up.
Right, absolutely. So you have the organization within EXP of really being a
Yes.
support system, right? So what led you initially to joining the EXP? You've been with us for a couple of years now.
For me, it was definitely the cloud and Hamoudi, his phone call. But the cloud, I love the cloud. I love that I can be present for my family and my business from anywhere in Oklahoma or anywhere in the world. Um, when I had an office in the past, I didn't really go, and so I wasn't there. I wasn't present, but I love that I don't have to show up in person to be a part of something. Um, it really, when I took time to really review the model, I was like, this was made for me. Like the technology, just the cloud, being able to be present as much as I want to be or the time that I have, it couldn't be more perfect. I think that if you're going to be successful, you should be out meeting people and not sitting in an office.
Right, right, absolutely. I couldn't agree more because ultimately you can get business, hanging out at a Regis shared office space or a coffee shop, that, and typically you're not going to get deals sitting in a local office with other local real estate agents, right? So
Yeah.
who might view you as competition. Interesting, and I wanted to highlight something that you mentioned, that once you actually looked at it, and I actually did a video on this morning of one of the biggest reasons why I find that agents don't join EXP is because they've never taken time to actually look at it. And then once they do, they're like, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. Why doesn't everybody join, right? So,
Right.
besides somebody's call, was there anything that kind of triggered you to say, okay, I'm happy where I am, but there might be a bigger opportunity that might be a better fit?
Yeah, just looking into the technology that was offered, I didn't have that before at any other brokerage. I just had to keep track of things in my brain. And so to me, having the CRM has been, like I said, really life changing. I have a website now. I can credit a lot of my sales to having that technology in place.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And definitely something that I think, we should all utilize. And we, as real estate agents, everyone should have a CRM, which is your client's relations management system, where you can text and email, and it kind of works like a virtual assistant, right, for you, and
Yeah.
funnel some leads. So, because you can only work relationships and sphere so much. And so that definitely puts fuel to the fire. So I appreciate you for sharing that. And anybody watching, if you've got any questions for Abby, please go ahead and comment below. I'd be happy to get to them. Give us a little bit of love and comment. So, what are some, you've obviously done extremely well over the last 9 years, and moving to a new city and then getting into a new industry. And now you've hit Icon, which is one of the highest levels of production that you can accomplish at EXP. What are some of your future plans? I mean, where are we going to see Abby in the next few years?
It's been a great year. Absolutely. Honestly, I'm going to focus on mentoring people, helping them grow their business as much as they want to. Hitting Icon is a lot of work. It's very time consuming. So if someone comes to me and they're like, well, I just want to cap, or I want to get to this, I think my goal is just to pour into people whatever way I can. But also, I'm going to make it an emphasis to focus on self-care and take my very first ever kid-free vacation. That's
Oh,
my
wow.
goal for 2023.
That's awesome. Where are you going? Do you know yet?
I have a few places in mind, but I haven't. When I book it, I'll let you know.
That's awesome. Well, maybe Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah.
I've already been down here, but yeah, that's amazing. And I think that's really important, because as entrepreneurs and business owners and real estate agents, we typically put ourselves last, right? So
We do.
that's really
Clients
important,
come first. And my
right?
kid.
Right. Yep, family, and I think particularly as moms. So that's exciting. So any particular like goals that you have over the next few years in terms, both personally and professionally?
Professionally, it's going to be to continue production. Actually, my goal is to set goals. 3 years ago, I would have told you I'm just going to wing it. I'm not going to set goals. But for the past 2 years, I've set goals, and actually, like production wise, I sold more than I expected. So I
Amazing.
think having that in writing really leads you to think, okay, what am I going to do today to get there, and just breaking it down to not just like what I'm going to do for the year, but what am I going to do today, just for today? Who do I need to meet today?
Right.
How can I pour into my community today?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to continue to put my goals in writing.
I like that. So if you want to share it, I'd love to hear what your goals are, and honestly, like you said, every day, and just moving that needle forward, right? That's what compounds. And then before you know it, you hit Icon, and hopefully you'll continue hitting Icon year over year. So that's amazing. Great.
Yeah.
So for any agents, you mentioned mentoring or bringing on agents to your organization and EXP and really helping them achieve their goals. For anybody that's watching this, whether it be live or recording, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
I always answer my phone, so call or text message. I will always at least text you back and then call you back later.
Awesome. Do you mind sharing your phone number?
Yeah, it's 405-905-6222.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Abby. I really appreciate it. I love seeing all your content on social media, and I could not be more proud of you that you hit Icon, because I know that's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you for having me. I love seeing your post.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
inspiring for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a happy new year.
Thank you. Have a happy new year.
Bye.